For the longest time, I carried this heavy question in my mind: why am I always broke? It didn't matter how hard I worked or how many hours I put in, the story was always the same. Payday came, and within a few weeks, sometimes just days, the money was gone. No savings, no investments, nothing left over. Just bills, receipts, and regret. At first, I blamed my job. I told myself, if only I made more money, all my problems would disappear. Maybe you've told yourself the same thing too. That voice that says, one day, when I get that raise, when I find a better paying job, then I'll finally be free. But here's the painful truth I had to face: I did get a raise. I did start earning more. But even then, I was still broke. My income went up, but my bank account stayed the same. That was the first time I realized the problem wasn't my paycheck, the problem was me. It was one random evening when it finally clicked. I sat down and decided to look closely at my bank statement. I wanted to see where the money was actually going. And what I discovered shocked me. It wasn't one big expense draining me. It wasn't the rent, or the utilities, or even the groceries. It was the little things. A few dollars here, a few dollars there. Coffee on the way to work. Takeout because I was too tired to cook. Streaming subscriptions I forgot to cancel. Impulse online shopping, just a quick order that turned into $50 gone in minutes. Individually, none of these seemed dangerous. They felt harmless. But when I added them all up, the total was hundreds of dollars every month. That was the money habit that secretly kept me broke for years, the habit of spending without thinking. I used to laugh when people said things like, cut out the small stuff. I thought, come on, a $5 coffee isn't going to ruin my life. And I was right, one coffee won't, but the habit will, because small leaks sink big ships. And my financial ship was sinking every single month. One month in particular opened my eyes. I tracked every single expense for 30 days, and at the end, I realized I had spent over $400 just on eating out and little impulse buys. $400, that's money that could have gone into paying down debt, building an emergency fund, or even investing for the future. Instead, it disappeared into nothing. And here's the thing, I didn't even feel like I had spent it. That's what makes these small habits so dangerous. You don't notice them. They sneak up on you. They don't bring guilt or warning signs. They just quietly drain your future away. I remember one night vividly. I was sitting at my desk, looking at my empty bank account, and I asked myself, how can I be working this hard and have nothing to show for it? That's when the embarrassment turned into determination. I knew I had to change. So I made myself face the truth. I wrote down every single thing I spent money on for a week. And when I saw it all on paper, I couldn't lie to myself anymore. I was wasting money on habits that gave me nothing in return. That's when I made a decision. Wasn't going to let small, mindless habits control my life anymore. I canceled subscriptions I didn't use. I started meal prepping instead of relying on food delivery. I gave myself a weekly fun budget, and once it was gone, that was it. No more dipping into my savings. At first, it was uncomfortable. I won't lie, it felt strange to say no to myself. But with every week that passed, I started to see something I had never seen before: extra money in my account. Money that stayed. Money that grew. That small change gave me hope. Because if bad habits could keep me broke for years, then good habits could build me wealth for a lifetime. Over time, I learned an important lesson: wealth isn't built on big one-time moves. It's built on daily choices, on habits. And the same way bad habits had slowly drained me, good habits started to slowly rebuild me. Now, when I look back, I don't just see the years I spent broke, I see the lesson in it. I see how dangerous it is to underestimate the small things. Because in money, just like in life, it's the little things that make the biggest difference. So if you're listening to this and wondering why you can never seem to get ahead, I want you to pause and take a hard look at your habits. Maybe it's not the big expenses holding you back. Maybe it's the tiny ones, the ones you don't even notice, because sometimes the secret to wealth isn't earning more. It's learning how to finally keep the money you already have.